Channel. This is your source for breaking news. Hawaii News Now at 10.
First tonight, the Oahu soldier whose wife was stabbed to death Saturday says he is not the killer.
Well, that's according to police sources. We're told Kathy Walker's body was found at Aliamanu Military Reservation Saturday morning.
Our Chelsea Davis is live in Aiea tonight at Walker's church. Chelsea.
Ke'ahi, Steph, we've learned that Kathy Walker was a devout Mormon who attended this church regularly with her husband. She had no kids, but her friends say she treated the kids here like her own. Friends and relatives of 36-year-old Kathy Walker, too distraught to go on camera, say she was soft-spoken, extremely helpful, and willing to do just about anything for anyone. Police sources tell me she was found dead in her home on Morishige Lane about 6:30 Saturday morning with a knife wound to her neck. Her husband, 36-year-old Mike Walker, told police he found her after he returned home from work. Police sources say he admitted to arguing with his wife the night before, but told Army investigators that he didn't hurt her.
All right, here we are, our new house in Hawaii.
This is video Mike posted on Facebook when they first moved into the home on Morishige Lane. According to his Facebook page, he is a medic in the United States Army. There have been no arrests, and the military is not releasing much information. But residents who live on military property says a military police officer has been guarding the home since, and Army investigators have been going door to door. Honolulu police assisted with the search using canine units. Those who live on base are concerned because no one is in custody and because the gates aren't guarded 24/7. Friends of Kathy say they want the killer to know a good woman died at their hands. We reached out to the Army's Criminal Investigation Command for more information. We're still waiting to hear back from them. Reporting live from Aiea, Chelsea Davis, Hawaii News Now.
There are heavy hearts on the East Coast tonight as loved ones learn of the gruesome killing of an Army wife here on Oahu.
The medical examiner has ruled Catherine Walker's death a homicide from stab wounds to her neck and torso. Chelsea Davis is live at Aliamanu Military Reservation tonight where Walker's body was found. Chelsea.
Ke'ahi, Steph, Kathy's husband Mike told police he found his wife's body at their home here when he got home from work Saturday morning. Police sources tell us Mike admitted to arguing with his wife the day before, but claims he didn't hurt her. Neighbors and friends of the Walkers tell me they're afraid because no one has been arrested and no suspects have been named.
Yeah? Say hi. Hi.
A close friend of both Kathy and her husband Mike tells me Mike's car was broken into on Monday, just 5 days before Kathy was found dead. Her friend says Kathy told him Mike's wallet was stolen and she was fearful of someone coming to the house. Those who live on the military property are worried.
It's really scary because there's no security, on base, on this uncle's housing, so anybody could just come in and out, so it could have been anybody.
Neighbors tell me Army investigators were searching outside the home again on Tuesday. Soldiers were seen combing through the grass behind the house.
This is a really quiet neighborhood, so it was kind of shocking to hear that somebody murdered somebody on where I live.
Kathy's childhood friends in New York are shocked over the tragic news.
I was just absolutely devastated. I didn't even know what to do. Even as little kids, I'd get grounded and because I didn't clean my room. She'd come over and clean my room for me so that I could go out and play. So she was just the sweetest, nicest person you could possibly meet.
Residents who live on the property say there is rarely a guard posted at the gate, and that does concern them. Kathy's father, too distraught to do an interview, says he knows his son-in-law Mike is innocent and believes someone broke into their home because of the lack of security on base. Kathy's parents say both funeral arrangements will be set here and in New York. Chelsea Davis, Hawaii News Now. Thank you.
In tonight's top story, FBI agents raid the apartment of an Army medic who is now charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder for the death of his wife. Prosecutors now say he helped his girlfriend carry out the killing. To outsiders, Michael and Kathy Walker seemed like a young and happy couple, but a year ago, that facade was destroyed when Kathy Walker was found dead. Mike Walker's girlfriend testified before a grand jury this morning, and late this afternoon, he was arrested. Lynn Kawano reports.
Here we are, our new house in Hawaii.
On November 15th of last year, Kathy Walker was murdered in her home on the Aliamanu military reservation. Her throat had been slashed.
I was just absolutely devastated. I didn't even know what to do.
Family and friends thought it was a random attack, but sources close to the investigation tell me they immediately knew the killing was the result of a love triangle. Those sources tell me her husband, Mike Walker, had been cheating on her with multiple partners, both women and men. 5 months later, 24-year-old Ailsa Lisa Jackson was arrested, accused of first-degree murder. She is one of the so-called other women. Court documents say the crime was premeditated. Kathy's friends, who spoke to us then, were relieved by the developments.
In our hearts, we're just very thankful that the answers are coming. Like this puzzle, this huge puzzle that has been in everyone's mind, like what happened. The answers to the puzzle are coming, like that the pieces are being put together.
7 months after that arrest, another arrest. Kathy Walker's husband, Mike, the Army medic at Tripler, is now charged with conspiracy to commit murder. Much of the evidence was in texts between Walker and Jackson. Walker said his greatest desire was to have his wife gone. He texted a month before the murder that, "I want you so bad," and later, "if only someone was out of the way." In other texts and emails, the word "his desire" or "my desire" were their code for the murder of Kathy Walker. He told Jackson divorce was not an option for him. The indictment says Jackson suggested the killing should be made to look like a burglary, and that Walker told her how to find a key hidden in gravel near the house. The indictment says Jackson entered the house using a key and used a knife from the kitchen to kill Kathy Walker. Mike Walker's involvement is stunning for those who knew the couple and called them picture perfect. Devout Mormons, Kathy was always volunteering at their church in Aiea and say she was hoping she and Mike would start a family soon. Sources say she was undergoing in vitro fertilization, but it hadn't worked. I'm Lynn Kawano, Hawaii News Network.
Okay, I have a problem. Okay, I'm a sex addict. Okay.
Only on Hawaii News now, late developments in a legal battle over damaging confessions in a high-profile murder trial.
The trial of former Army medic Michael Walker will not start on Tuesday as planned. Nearly 3 years after his wife was stabbed to death, the case is now on hold.
Dozens of potential jurors were expected, some even flying in from other islands. Chief investigative reporter Lynn Kawano joins us with exclusive details. Lynn.
It's a bombshell. Michael Walker's videotaped admission that he had multiple affairs, including one with the woman who killed his wife, has been thrown out for trial. Prosecutors are appealing the judge's ruling to a higher court, and late this afternoon, the judge put the trial off indefinitely.
They're on the ground and blood everywhere. There's a knife on her side.
In November of 2014, Michael Walker detailed the murder scene in the Aliamanu military reservation home he shared with his wife, Kathy Walker. She had been stabbed multiple times.
I mean, just judging off of what I remember, it almost looks like she took her own life. I don't know why she would do that.
Walker first tells the military investigator that his wife may have committed suicide, but then later admits that he was cheating on her and blames his lover, Ailsa Jackson, who has pleaded guilty to the fatal stabbing. Walker is accused of plotting with Jackson to murder his wife. During the interrogation, he admits to the affair with her and others.
One night, okay, I have a problem. Okay, I'm a sex addict. Okay. I had a thing with the freaking psycho who threatened her life, threatened your wife's life, threatened my wife's life, because she wanted to be with me only. I didn't think she was going to do it.
But yesterday, just days before trial was set to begin, a federal judge ruled most of the interrogation by military investigators cannot be seen by the jury.
Basically suppressed the entire confession as involuntary and coerced due to abusive police misconduct.
Walker's attorney, Bernie Brevard, says his client's rights were clearly violated.
Accusatory questions without reading him his Miranda rights. When he did read him his Miranda rights, he said, "Do you want a lawyer?" My client said, "Yes, I want a lawyer." He refused to accept that. You're supposed to stop the interrogation, get him a lawyer. He kept going, kept going.
Prosecutors agreed that some parts of the confession should be suppressed, but the judge apparently went further than they expected and appears to have damaged their case. They're hoping the Ninth Circuit will allow them to use other parts of the video, especially if Walker tells a different story on the stand. The appeal means the trial could be delayed up to a year.
Claimed sex addict and his mistress are finally sentenced for the murder of his wife 6 years ago. Michael Walker and Ailsa Jackson learned their fate today in federal court. Our Lynn Kawana was there.
The judge pointed out that even though it was Ailsa Jackson who wielded the knife that killed Kathy Walker, it was Michael Walker who organized the murder, and that's why he got a longer sentence. 40-year-old Michael Walker was sentenced to 35 years, more than the recommended sentence for second-degree murder. 29-year-old Ailsa Jackson got 30 years, the low end of the recommended sentence. Walker manipulated Jackson into killing Kathy Walker in 2014. He left a key outside their home while he maintained an airtight alibi. He was at work at Tripler Army Medical Center. Jackson suffered from mental illness and schizophrenia. She described stabbing Kathy Walker as she slept, then asking Mrs. Walker if she forgives her. She said Kathy Walker answered yes before dying. Family and friends of the victim spoke in court today saying they too forgive and are satisfied with the judge's sentences.
We got something. They're not walking free. And then after this life, they have to answer to the Lord for their souls. We do forgive them. But we definitely are okay with what went on today.
Michael Walker did address the family of his deceased wife, saying he was sorry. Michael Walker was also convicted of child porn charges as well as prostitution in a military court-martial. That sentence will run concurrently with his sentence here. Reporting from federal court, I'm Lynn Kawano, Hawaii News Now.